He sits in peace and lives in the mortal strength, impotent against his calm, omnipotent law, and in conscience and the almighty hands of death. Again, she is putting down his omnipotent law, impotent against his calm, omnipotent law. Law. Here, we could read the reference to the Sanskrit word which is pertinent to this context. Yama. Yama, death. Yama means law. He is omnipotent. And my strength, mortal strength, is impotent against it, against the law of death. Death is the ordainer of this mortal world. He holds the entire mortal world according to his law, runs it. And in conscience and the Almighty, she says again, Almighty hands of death. You see. So the problem is really pinned down to the very foundation of things itself. It is all springing up from inconscience. You might do few things here and there and all that thing, but they are all superficialities. They are not really going to solve the true problem. So Savitri, indirectly, while she is listing all the difficulties, is telling is, look, if you want me to accomplish the mission for which I have come, if you want me to do that thing, then you have to give me a strength to fight against all that springs from inconscience. I want that strength. It is not perhaps sufficient for me to only fight against time and death. It's not sufficient. It's okay, but the real problem will be to go deeper down from where they are born, from where they are coming. And then suddenly she reminds the mighty voice, what need have I? What need has Satyavan? To avoid the black meshed net, the dismal door, or call a mightier light into life's closed room, a greater law into man's little world. Yes, as far as I am concerned, I don't need anything at all. As far as Satyavan is concerned, he also doesn't need anything at all for himself. So she knows who Satyavan is, what he is standing for. She recognizes their avatarhood. They are coming from the divine himself directly. She recognizes that. And therefore she said, I don't need anything. After all, I am divine. What does I need? I don't need it all, you see. What need have I? Same way, what need has Satyavan? You see. Everything is there. All the joys, pleasures, happiness, delight, beauty, love, sweetness, everything is there. So I don't need for myself. In other words, she says, if at all I need something, I need for the world, for this creation. And she is asking then, look, can you help me for that? I want strength to fight. I want help so that the world gets whatever I get through me for its benefit, for its growth, for its prosperity. A greater law into man's little world. Greater law, the law of truth. Not the law of death, but the law of the immortality, of truth. Dhritasya. Rutam. That is the proper word. Rhythm. That is the dynamic aspect of truth. Rhythm. It is that rhythm which should get established here. Where? In man's little world. It is the divine law, the law of rhythm, the divine dynamism. It is that, not truth in the static manner of form, but dynamic truth. So Satyam is the static truth, rhythm is the dynamic truth. So it is that which must come here and take possession of man's little world. And she elaborates, why should I strive with earth's unyielding laws or stay off death's inevitable hour? She says, I don't need it at all. What for? Stay off, put away death's inevitable hour. I cannot stop that thing at all, you see. She says very clearly. This surely is best to pact ties with my fate, to pact ties with my fate. So she says to make a pact, to make a pact. He is using word pact as a verb. It's not practice, huh? Practice. This surely is best to practice with my way. So okay, let me make a pact with fate. Let me accept what it is, you see. And follow close behind my lover's steps. She is again saying, look, I am willing to go after him. I might even go as Sati. She is insisting on that also. If he has to go, well, I also follow that. And follow close behind my lover's steps and pass through night from twilight to the sun. And pass to night from twilight to the sun. Well, she is already anticipating what is going to happen in books 9, 10, and 11. Passing through the night, passing through twilight worlds, book 10, through night, book 9, to the sun, book 11. This surely is best to pact ties with my fate. So let me engage myself with fate and then follow what will happen. In fact, that is exactly what is going to happen when Satyavan dies, because fate is inevitable. So Savitri is going to follow the spirit of Satyavan wherever he is being taken. In his steps, the procession is the spirit of Satyavan, behind him is death, and behind them is Savitri. And she is putting her feet exactly at the place where Satyavan had put his feet. That is the procession which goes, you see. Across the tenebrous, now, and follow close behind my lover's steps, and pass through night from night to sun, across the tenebrous river that divides the adjoining parishes of earth and heaven. Tenebrous river, dark river. Now, of course, the reference is very clear. In the Indian literature, this tenebrous river is named as Vaitarani, Vaitarini, rather Vaitarini. So when the soul departs from this world, then it has to cross this river and then go beyond. Then, depending upon his merit, he goes to the world of death or he goes to hell, whatever it is. Vaitarini. Now, this Vaitarini is again very suggestive. The etymology itself tells what that river is. Why means truth. Why means truth. Tarini, who saves you. You cross the difficulty, cross the hurdle, cross the river of difficulty, go across from here to this one. So it is the sort of truth river by which you cross into other world. That is what Vaitarani is. But at the same time, depending upon the soul, for a certain time after the death, it may have to stay depending upon its consciousness in different places. Vital, mental, whatever you say, stays there and then takes the birth. It is after long passage that the psychic being becomes free and goes to the psychic world for a while, to the world soul, takes rest there, assimilates all the experiences of life, becomes ready now to take another birth. So, while going to the psychic world, it has shed off all the other things. The entire baggage has to be shed off and then goes. Only all that which has become psychicized, that remains with the psychic being. If your mental faculties have become psychicized, if your vital faculties have become psychicized, even the physical, the subtle physical, if the psychic element has entered in them, is governing them, then that becomes a part of the psychic world and it remains with him permanently and goes from life to life. So that is your permanent possession. The rest is sent back to the cosmic zones, you see. Across the tenebrous river that divides. Now, this tenebrous river in Greek, of course, you know it is Styx, you see. Styx, you see. So, that is the river which will lead you to Hades from that. In fact, there are 6 rivers, no? Styx, Lethe, Cocytus, Acheron, Phlegethon. 1, 2, 3, 5 rivers, you see. Now, according to the Greek mythology, Styx is hate. The name is hate. Lethe, oblivion. Cocytus, lamentation. Acheron, pain, ache, pain. And Phlegethon, fire, burning, volcanic. See. So, through those rivers you have to pass. But basically it is Styx. Now, the ferryman who takes the dead soul across this river is Chiron, Chiron, Chiron. And the Greek tradition is that when a person is dead, they put a small coin in his mouth. That coin, obol, of the smallest denomination in Greek money system. Obol is the smallest coin, you see. So that is put in the mouth of the dead person, and that is the fare the dead man has to pay to this ferryman while crossing this river. Now this fellow, he is happy to pick up one obol, see, because he knows that a lot of people will keep on doing and he will keep on getting money. So even if it is a point of no value, he makes enough for his living, you see. Obol. Now, obol also is the word for zero in Greek. It means coin of zero value, you see, basically, obol. You see. Void, zero, you see. So it is that is paid to the ferryman. And that is what Savitri is referring to here about the tenebrous river she has to cross. Now, Savitri knows about all these things, about all these occult things already. Savitri is aware that after death this happens, that happens, she is kind of aware of all these things. Because it is not by her personal knowledge. The traditional knowledge is so rich that it has become a part of your makeup. We are talking about style. It's not that we have experienced them. From knowledge, we are talking about these things. So Savitri is talking in that sense, intimately, with a voice which is advising Savitri. Then, so she says that, look, I will go along with him, cross the river, and be always one with my husband. Then could we lie in arms, breast upon breast. Untroubled by thought, because there is no thought there now. Untroubled by our hearts, untroubled by thought. At the moment, Savitri is troubled by thought. And the greatest trouble at the moment for her is Satyavan is to die. That thought itself is troubling her. Same way her heart is feeling the grief of the death, untroubled by the present condition of us. Forgetting man and life and time and hours. Yes, everything will be forgotten once I cross that river, you see. Forgetting eternity's call, forgetting God. Who is God? What is call? I will go and live in Styx, tenebrous river, oblivion. It means oblivion. Across the tenebrous river that divides the adjoining parishes of earth and heaven. Then could we lie in arms, breast upon breast, untroubled with thought. At the moment she is not in that state. She is very troubled, untroubled by her hearts. She is at the moment, she is very troubled. Although they are living together, Satyavan and Savitri, but Savitri is always very troubled. Satyavan does not have any idea of what is going to happen. So he is not really troubled in that sense. He is oblivious of all those things happening. Forgetting eternity's call, but Savitri is aware of it. Forgetting God. The voice replied, the divine Savitri asked Savitri, is this enough? O Spirit, what you are telling me, is that enough? Is that all right? You should reconsider your arguments. Is this enough? O Spirit. Now, this is a very complex kind of a line. The voice replied, is this enough? O Spirit. It depends upon how you want to read it. The voice, that is an I am. The voice, short long, replied, that is also an I am. So two I ams are clear. But these three feet here depends on how you want to pronounce them, how you want to emphasize things there. Is this enough? Or is this enough? See, it depends upon that. Is this enough? I think the natural thing is this. The stress falling on is. Is this enough? Or you want to put it on this. Is this enough? No, that will sound a little harsh. Huh? You would prefer that. Is this enough? Now, enough also, is this, well, now this can be basically seen in three ways. Is this, short, is this enough? Short, long. O Spirit, Again, O spirit, again, it can be O spirit or O spirit. You see. It depends on how you want to pronounce, how you want to emphasize it. You see. The meter allows all those possibilities, you see. But I would prefer the voice reply, is this enough? I will put the stress on enough, in. Is it enough? Not enough. Is it enough? Oh spirit, oh spirit. Oh is not really stressed, but this is stressed. Oh spirit. So metrically, this is a very complex structure, these 3 feet particularly.